Just let it flow. Just do however.
See what happens.
Yeah.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode. Make sure to tune in, bug out, and get unplugged. So this is it. I don't know. But here we are. I'm your host, Joe Van, along with my co-host.
Hey, it's Darren.
And our co-host, whether that's the doggy or
no.
I think it's a dog.
Yeah.
This doesn't see English.
She understands it though.
She does.
Yeah.
Which is okay. Yeah, this is Bamboo. She's pissed. Sunday. She doesn't do Sundays. She's pissed.
Yeah, that's okay.
She was watching cartoons this morning.
Yeah, cartoons. Sunday cartoons. She's tiny, and she's sleepy still.
Yeah, it's cool because normally you see tiny dogs and they're always so hyper, but this is like the chillest looking chihuahua I've ever seen. I love it.
They're so hyper. That's so funny. This one's hyper. Some only in the parks.
Okay. So, what is that life like? Because I have not taken my dog for a walk because I don't live in Burlington anymore. But what's it like going on dog walks and stuff? Are people just like letting their dogs loose, or is it a fairly safe situation to be in?
It depends. Like normally people are okay with their no leash, but or like having a leash, for instance. But I find that if people don't have a leash, I won't really go near them. I just let them do their thing because it's like their dogs may be fine, but mine may not be, right? So.
Right. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. Right, well, how is your dog to other dogs? Because you know how some dogs are like hate other dogs and only like humans. You know.
She hates anyone that's not us.
Oh, true. Okay, nice.
She's been around other dogs, so like I don't really know yet because I haven't really met any other dogs to introduce her to. But like, she's met other dogs before, and it's been okay. So I don't know. Whenever whenever we're outside or anything, and like if she were to see a dog, she would definitely 100% bark. I'm assuming because she barks at like everything outside.
Yeah, no discrimination. Humans, dogs, birds, whatever. Just barks at
or just
everything.
air. She barks at air.
Yeah.
It's funny.
So in here it's chill, but then she goes outside and she starts barking at air.
Yeah, that's funny. Man, dogs are crazy. When you think about the evolution of dogs, it's nuts. They went from wolves to chihuahuas inside of 1,000 years.
This cranium is
crazy.
so small.
Yeah.
This one has a really small cranium.
Yeah. But okay, so I'm getting a little sidetracked here. We didn't do an official introduction. How many times have you been on now, Aiden? Is this 3 or 4?
3.
3? Yeah.
I think.
3.
No, it's not. This is 4th.
It is?
We had, first episode. Then we had me being a Frogger. And then we had you with our other guest. And so
now this is number 4.
Not bad.
I am
getting
number
close.
4.
We're getting close. Yeah.
Wow, 4.
Everyone's seen that movie. I am number 4.
Right, yeah. Oh my gosh, that's yeah. It's been a while since I've seen that movie, but I have seen that movie.
I remember.
Yeah, powers, right?
Yeah, but there was a moment that just took me out of it, where like there's the female, like superpowered girl in it,
5 or something,
and she goes and she blows up this house. I don't know why, but Adele comes on.
Adele, sing it.
Like over the scene, like it's
the song.
Something about fire.
Sure. Yeah.
I set fire to the rain.
Maybe, I presume. So that scene, that's playing over the shot of her like walking out of this burning house as it explodes, and I was like, no, this is garbage.
Some corny teen like music video looking thing, some weird.
There's nothing worse than a movie putting a song that like relates to what's happening. It's like, no, don't.
I know. Well, I would say it depends on the scene. If the scene is a montage, then I think it's okay. It's suitable. It's thematic. Like what a really good one that I always have in my mind is Donnie Darko when he's going to school. They have this whole long shot of like all the kids and stuff, and there's a song talking about like moving through time, and so it relates to the movie because that's what's happening with that weird bunny ghost from the future. Like that, yeah. So it related, but it also, because it was kind of montage-esque, like a bunch of busy stuff was happening, I think it worked. But yeah, I think it's more often bad than good in movies.
Yeah, but I like the Watchmen movie, the Zack Snyder Watchmen, because that whole movie is almost like a musical.
It's just an 80s
like,
soundtrack.
Yeah, like every
It's great.
scene has like music to it and is basically a montage. Like,
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, that's the thing. Zack Snyder, he's coming out with his new 4-part, mini-series movie of the Justice League, Snyder Cut. And he's clearly ruined the DC universe. When you look at Marvel versus DC, he did such a bad job being like the leader at the helm of making these movies, like making this universe. It's like he did a terrible job. But it's the same as like Michael Bay getting the rights to Transformers, like this big franchise. They got it because it's like Snyder is good at doing certain things. Like he's amazing at doing action scenes. He's actually one of the best directors to make action scenes. So even though he's like this immature juvenile child adult man, like who just like, oh, I just love like comic books, but like none of the actual good content or context. I just like the visual stuff. So it's like his movies are just full of like climaxes constantly. Like he's really bad at like making like a build up to something. It's just stuff.
He isn't very good at like us like building character and having like intimate character moments or like any moments. but his visual directing of, like you said, action scenes, and
that's
he's almost like an artist, the way it's like painted.
Yeah. That's a good point. He should be doing like co-directing stuff where like he does the action scenes and then another director does the story. And then that way it's like he could actually make a really good movie. Because it's like he's best known for like Watchmen, 300, the zombie movie, I forget which one that one's called, Dawn of the Dead, I think. It's like those are the things that he's known for.
Now as well.
Oh, what's that?
He has a new zombie movie coming out.
Right, Netflix original.
Yeah, but somehow he managed to film in between refilming Justice League and all the other things he's done, and the pandemic. He's managed to fit in
another zombie movie. He's like, I'm going back to my roots. Yeah. I feel like he's trying to pull an M. Night Shyamalan with that movie. Because you know how M. Night Shyamalan just like fell from grace so hard. Like he was like the most prolific director ever, and then he just started making bomb after bomb after bomb and just like self-destructed his own career. But then he made that movie Visit, which was like a way smaller budget. It was really condensed. And then like oh, you haven't seen that one? That's
No.
It's like found footage. These two kids go to visit their grandparents and things happen, right? And there's like the classic M. Night Shyamalan twist and all that. But then that did fairly good. Like it made more money than it took to produce it. And then so he made the movie Split, and then now that was like the renaissance of M. Night Shyamalan. I feel like maybe that's what Zack Snyder's trying to do with the zombie one. He's trying to give himself a renaissance. But at the same time, like, is this not going to be coming out at the exact same time as the Justice League cut now? Because I feel like
so
they're both going to drop at the same time.
Double whammy of movies on 2 different streaming services to watch.
Yeah, right, exactly. He's creating competition for himself. It's like that meme of like, I play both sides, so I always come out on top. That's him.
I'm excited for the Justice League thing. I think no one has ever got the opportunity to have a second go at their movie before.
Yeah, and oh my god, I didn't watch the whole thing, but I watched the beginning of an interview that he gave to IGN, like just like a week ago or something, like leading up to this release. Because I think it's dropping, at the end of next month?
Yeah.
I say the end of next month. We're recording this on the last day of February. So when this drops, this month. But yeah, and it's so funny because the person started by trying to like give him the benefit of the doubt, being like, prolific, amazing Zack Snyder. Like the person was trying to be nice to him, like starting out the interview. And she was like, so, we got a bunch of like questions that like from the fans and stuff. But I want to start by saying like, how has this film changed from when you originally started to now after like all these years and the fan feedback of like how the original was received after like it had been recut by what's his name who made the Avengers?
Joss Whedon.
And he right the now canceled Joss Whedon man.
Yeah,
and Snyder was like, oh it's completely the exact same as when I first made it. And it's like, shut the fuck up. No, it's not. You obviously changed so much because of how the fans reacted, right?
Yeah.
Like, I'm assuming Justice League, everything about the original one that came out in 2018 is I think very few, like the only bits that changed were the comedy elements. I feel like Snyder didn't have any comedy in his, so that was all Joss Whedon's recut. But otherwise, I think the plot was the exact same, except for like, there's probably dream sequences that were cut. So like for him to say, "Oh, it was always the original," it's like, we'll see when this 4-part thing comes out. But I got a feeling he changed a fuck ton. But he's going to do that thing where he goes,
I mean,
"This was
I think
always
like
what
the
I made."
changes were like the changes of like the CGI and
Yeah,
things like that.
exactly.
The
Yeah,
color
literally. Yeah, yeah,
grading
yeah.
and-
Changing
But
the CGI enemy to having like
yeah,
more
I think
chrome.
really to get that far out of time, he's just added like all the deleted scenes back in to pad it out, and like
literally,
cut out
yeah.
all the comedy stuff, but put back in the serious ones. Like
take the comedy out, take it out.
Horrible.
Take all the comedy
horrible.
out, get rid of the color, wash it down, make it just sepia or something, and make it super dark so we can't see anything.
I saw this quote from like one of the producers on Justice League. And it was like their first reaction from watching Joss Whedon's version of it.
Okay.
And it was something like, "Oh yeah, it was just terrible. It was shit, and we all knew it was shit, but there was nothing we could do."
Oh my god.
Because like the movie was finished, they had to.
Right. Yeah, they're like, we just have to pump it out.
Like, it's shit, but like.
But it goes. They just knew. Yeah. Preeminent shit.
So bad.
Yeah.
That's so weird. It's ridiculous, but that's what happens. I mean, the only thing that I don't understand, and this goes beyond just the DC CU or EU or whatever they're calling it. When Marvel, because Marvel was the first successful franchise to create this universe, right? Like they weren't the first ones to do it. Like in the 90s, they were trying to do like weird Marvel movies where they were kind of connected. But they were the first ones to successfully do it after the Iron Man movie in 2008. And then everybody else saw that and was like, okay, how can we do this for ourselves and make our own money and stuff? And I'm trying, and I guess Harry Potter also successfully did it around the same time. But like not only DC, but also Star Wars. When I think of franchises that failed so hard, and then I guess also the Universal Monster universe that Universal was trying to make.
Wait,
also
so Star Wars failed? Star Wars failed?
The Star Wars trilogy, yeah. Not that it failed, but like they obviously the new trilogy, they didn't have a plan. They backpedaled on themselves in the third movie, and that's like embarrassing to see that they like are regretting their own work and they don't believe in themselves and they're like retconning themselves as they go.
The
like, how can you not plan this stuff?
Those movies were garbage. I actually haven't seen any. I haven't really seen any Star Wars footage except when Aiden then was like, "We need to go see this one, and then this one, and then this one," and I was like, "This is what you dragged me out to see? This
is what everyone loves."
And who's the girl? The girl sucks. Whoever the girl is, she sucks.
Well, yeah. We pulled her out of obscurity to make her a star.
Okay, sorry, continue. She sucks though. No offense. No offense. I'm sorry.
No. The script sucks, and so
blame it on the
also
script,
didn't help
definitely.
her act.
Yeah.
It's just nuts that they didn't plan anything, and it's like the most obvious in the second, or no, in the second one, in the third one, they just are constantly retconning what the original was setting up and stuff, and like it's nuts. And then the same thing's happening now with the DC, where they're just like the Batman v Superman. They introduced Batman in the Batman v Superman that should have been a build-up, and it's in the movie you're being introduced to one of the main characters for the first time. And then inside of the same movie, there's like this big tension and an explosion, and it's like nobody cares because this is the first time we're seeing Batfleck.
The woman, right? That was her first appearance too. She shows up.
Yeah. She didn't even get a movie yet until after the fact. It's like you guys really did not plan this at all. You're just instantly like, we got to catch up to whatever's going on. It's kind of like, and we've already talked about this on the podcast, Aaron, but the whole Xbox and PlayStation thing. PlayStation came out first. And then Xbox and PlayStation became competitors. So when it came time to naming their future consoles, Xbox is like, we can't call the second one an Xbox 2 because it's coming out at the same time as PlayStation 3. So we'll seem weaker because that's a lower number. So we'll call it a 360. That way it's got the 3 in there. And it's like, okay, cool. What are you going to do for the next one? We'll call it an Xbox One. It's like, what the fuck are you... What? Like, there's no planning in how they're setting this up.
And then we'll just copy Apple and we'll call it an X and an S and a XS.
Right, yeah, or Tesla, have it spell out sexy, S and then E and then, or 3 and then X and then Y. Yeah, but yeah, it could have been so easy. Yeah, literally just give it weird Chrome names, like call it, the Xbox Zeta, the Xbox, like whatever,
Cranium.
like yeah,
Cranium. My
and yeah,
cranium.
there's like a million things you could call it.
I have the Xbox Cranium.
Yeah, I'd buy an Xbox Cranium, sure. It's in the shape of a human brain. You're like, I can't set it down; it just rolls over. Just the worst design possible.
Oh my!
It's wet. I don't know what this is. What did I
People
buy?
just buy it for the
wet as well.
Yeah.
No,
oh
I
my
imagine
god, that's
it would be like a glass jar, and it would be floating inside the glass
Oh
jar.
my god.
Oh, that'd be
That's like-
terrifying.
That'd be
This
so
is
fire.
new tech. Yeah, we're creating brains. The Pope said cloning is immoral, but we're doing it anyway. Yo, but that just gave me a weird flashback. Have you guys heard of the movie eXistenZ?
Heard, but not seen.
Okay,
I
it's
don't
a
think I've
movie
heard
with
of it.
Jude Law. It's weird as fuck, man. It was directed by David Cronenberg, who he's a Canadian director who like went to America and he does like horror stuff. And then I've talked about this in one of my YouTube videos, but his son just came out with the movie Possessor that was like got huge resounding success for being just super dark and mysterious and stuff. But David Cronenberg, or no, let me think of examples. Eastern Promises. Have you guys heard of that movie with Viggo Mortensen? Yeah, so he's that guy. So he's just known for doing general kind of dark drama and like violent stuff. And he made this movie eXistenZ in like the mid to late 90s, and it was like trying to be like a dark twist on what gaming is. And it's like in the future, games it's like the Matrix basically, which is kind of interesting because it came out before the Matrix. So you can't say that they stole the idea from the Matrix. You like plug in and then you enter this weird and it's like you're holding like a flesh controller that's like rubbery and like skin shape like colored. It's really weird. And then
I've seen those on the internet.
It's very strange. And then it's one of those movies where there's like a million twists, and then it's like, oh, that wasn't actually the real world, and like you don't know what's true and what's not true. But it's super, super weird movie. And yeah, I think it's good that gaming didn't try to go down that weird rabbit hole of making rubber shaped stuff, being like this is the future.
They love in movies. They love the idea that the future will be VR based.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
even
and that's scary.
Obviously, all the like
bad thing.
Yeah, like Total Recall and
literally The Matrix. I mean, it's not a game, but yeah.
Yeah, what was the Stallone one?
Ender's Game, I guess. They also do that.
Yeah, the Stallone.
Oh, which one was Stallone? What's he
like
doing?
80s.
Not
Judge Dredd, but he was a cop and
right. It's gonna be some kind of dumb name. It's a generic name. I know what you're talking about. I have the image of him in my head of him, being in that world. But yeah,
there's a scene where he has VR sex with Julia Roberts or whoever the woman is.
What the heck? Oh my gosh.
He's like, but it's where he's a cop and he's frozen, and then he wakes up in the future, and the bad guy is the guy who played Blade.
Wesley Snipes.
Wesley Snipes? Oh wait, okay. So I haven't seen that movie, but I'm sure I've seen clips of it. Yeah.
About cop. He's a cop.
Oh my gosh! Wait. You know another one? What was it called? Millennium something or other with the guy who plays Voldemort. He's like a New York cop, and it's in the future where VR is like you plug something into your head, and then it records what you're seeing, and then people buy those recordings on the black market. But then he's a cop that like tries to stop crimes by using these things. But then he's also like a dirty cop, but he kind of struggles with his own morality of like what he's doing. So he buys this video on the black market of someone being murdered, but the person like puts like plugs in the person that he's murdering into himself so that the victim is like in the middle of seeing themselves get murdered by the person. So it's like this weird, intimate, fucked up, crazy thing. And it's supposed to be like, and the movie came out in like 1996, and it was like, this is what the year 2000 looks like. And it's like, we're not gonna make that kind of fucking technological leap. It's like the world's ending and crime's getting even worse in New York. Like
even Minority Report did that, right?
Yeah, Minority Report. Yeah, that's like AR.
It's going to be set like 10 years in the future, or maybe less. I don't know when Ready Player One was meant to be set. But like everybody's got VR sets on, and they're having this life inside VR.
I would say
now. And it's too expensive for people to buy. Like, I don't know anyone who's got one of those.
Yeah, because what I got the brain of a fish, but what's the one you just said? The one that just came out?
Ready Player One?
Yeah. Ready Player One. That one is literally just actual VRs. So that's the weird thing with that movie. Is like
with the one you can buy on the
just
shelf.
current PlayStation VR headsets. Like they just put it on the Oculus Rift and they're good to go. But then everyone's homeless, but then they're all affording these VRs. And it's like you don't think like there would be like a part of society that would just completely reject that and like focus on working and like it's weird that everyone unanimously just decides that this is what they want to do. It's like I don't want to do VR. That's creepy and also expensive. Yeah. It's like I'll try it out here or there, but it's just not for me. I would get motion sickness,
I saw this one I saw this one machine where it was like you're wearing like a vest. Right? Picture you're wearing a vest. You have a gun in your hand, like a full-on like Call of Duty gun.
Yeah.
You're wearing like a helmet that's like a VR helmet.
Yeah.
But you're standing basically on a circular treadmill.
That's literally from the movie Ready Player One. Yeah.
And like
it's a 3D treadmill, and it's got a harness around your hip, and it like holds you with a railing, and you can like run.
You're running in a circle. It's really strange.
Yeah, I feel like people would trip. They would fall over themselves. Really
I saw someone using it in their room. I was like, wow, that looks dangerous. Like, what about
that exercise?
Oh, I guess it would be good exercise, but
right, because imagine playing Skyrim, where you have to walk everywhere. Well, you can fast travel, right? But like you have to walk everywhere
a lot. Yeah.
But imagine
I would just want a normal treadmill. You know, and then just be able to like use the thumb controls to change the camera left and right. But I would only want to go straight because otherwise I feel like I would trip on myself. Yeah. I wouldn't trust it.
Yeah, maybe. Or you could get like a bike, one of those indoor like exercise bikes.
Oh yeah, a little Peloton.
And your arms a bit more, but you still use a controller, right? Yeah, because I'm the same. I wouldn't want to move, not with that.
Yeah. I forget who I heard this from, but I feel like I've actually heard someone say that that's what they do. They go on a bike and play video games, and that way they're exercising and staying entertained. So it's like the pain of exercising isn't too much, and they just want a game, so they just game while they're on a stationary bike, and then that's like a good way to exercise because you're distracted the whole time, right? That's like a huge benefit to doing that kind of thing.
I could be down for that. I could do that.
Yeah. The only thing is just I'm not gonna buy a stationary bike. I don't have room for it in my current.
Yeah, where are you gonna put it?
Yeah. And speaking of room, like I was watching like a Nintendo kind of like what's coming. I always watch these like Nintendo.
Oh, the Nintendo videos. Direct. Yeah,
exactly. So there's like this thing where it's like you can like put basically like I don't know, like little plastic things in your house that are technically like laps to races. So like when you
right, the new Mario Kart.
They're not really finish lines because you can change them, right? So like it would be a lap. Like okay, this lap here, that lap.
What is it, like a Bluetooth block? Or something?
Guess, but it's like
there was a physical car though.
There's a physical car too. Yeah.
You drive around your own.
That's next level. That's a novelty. There's no way millions of people are buying that.
Yeah, who's buying that?
Yeah.
But then I'm thinking in the house, it's like, how do you have space for that in the house? Because it's basically supposed to like.
You got to be like a wealthy American. Yeah. You got to have that $70K a year lifestyle. I feel like. Yeah. And it's your kids doing it. You're not even doing it. So it's like, hey. Yeah.
And how
rich Americans? This is a Japanese company being like, hey, rich Americans with way too much land and 9 ounces. Yeah. Here's this weird new product.
The Japanese houses are quite small, so they're not going to be using them.
Literally.
So you're right. They're targeting the Americans, definitely.
Oh, yeah,
but like, if you were the parent, you'd be really annoyed if every morning your kid wanted to set up this racetrack
thing that like blocks the whole house. Yeah, you're like the whole living room you can't go through, or else you're like stepping through it.
Yeah,
it's like a virtual racetrack, I guess.
It's real and virtual though. That's the thing. It's not just a virtual racetrack. That's how inconvenient it is.
Yeah, because
I really don't know who it's catering to because it's like
you're
kids don't even care that much. They will just play with a real RC racer, or they'll just play a video game.
Yeah.
I feel like this technology didn't need to exist, but it had to be done by someone, I guess, right?
Yeah.
That idea was like Nintendo was like, it's an original idea. Let's take it.
Yeah. Sometimes people have to do things to fail so that no one else will ever touch the idea, right?
Oh my god, yeah. Yo, case in point with Xbox 360 doing the Kinect, and then when they originally made the Xbox One, they were like, it comes with a Kinect, and you don't have an option to get rid of it, and it's always on and watching you, even when you turn your Xbox off, and it like caters products and ads to you, and it like spies on you forever.
Yeah.
And there's no way to turn it off. And then nobody bought a fucking Xbox One because of that. And they like lost so many sales, and PlayStation just swept them under the rug. And so they're like, okay, let's get rid of the Kinect.
I haven't, the only
never do
benefit
that
I
again.
liked is that you could walk in the room and say Xbox on, and it would turn on, right? But that's it.
The cons are way more than the pros. Yeah. So they're like, okay, let's just not do that again.
Doesn't sound good at all.
No.
Yeah.
Are you enjoying your new Xbox, Joe?
Yeah, I love it. The only bad part is that there's not enough new games. However, the Xbox Game Pass that they have, I feel like PlayStation has a version of that. Do they have like a PlayStation Store or Play or something?
Yeah, they'll have something.
Not sure.
Yeah. But I feel like Xbox is in the lead as far as that new form of technology goes, because it's like you don't have to pay extra. You know how like with Disney Plus you got to pay for a subscription, but then you got to pay extra for the new games that come out? With the Xbox Game Pass, that's not a thing. So it's like brand new games will come out and you can just play it. It's weird. It almost feels like cheating. Like of course how it should be. That's like the best case scenario because I love it. It's like I got the game.
That's how I thought it was.
I paid $12 a month, I'm pretty sure. Mm-hmm. And like the brand new games that come out, like brand new 4K just for the Xbox Series X, you can just the second it comes on, you just go to the Game Pass, app, and then it appears, and you just click install, and then it installs. Installing still takes like 6 hours, which is insane. But once it's there, then you can play a brand new game that just came out that day, and you can just play it. And when you're done, you just delete, like uninstall, and then you're on to the next game. Like instead of having to pay full price.
Yeah, that's how it should be. Instead of having
I know. Well, yeah, that's the thing. It's like companies don't want things as they should be, but for whatever reason, Microsoft is doing this. I feel like it's because they need a comeback because PlayStation has been doing so much better.
And Microsoft seems like more of the good guys in the.
They just have more money in general because they.
World.
Right. Their owner is like trying to help the world.
Yeah,
that general sense of philanthropy throughout
Apple and other companies.
I am curious about that. It's weird that Apple never tried to create their own console, eh? Like they've been around since the 80s. You feel like as soon as Microsoft did it in the year 2000,
they tried one back in the 80s though, and it just didn't. So they never touched it.
I just don't know if it was a console or if they just tried to do their own version of PC gaming. Because it's like they still technically have that. There's like Mac PC games that you can get, even though it's like weird to say Mac PC because it's not a PC, it's a Mac, but a Mac Apple game or whatever.
Yeah, Mac PC game. Nope. Can't say it.
Yeah. Straight up. It's the same as like Google trying to do Stadia. That was like such a big fail. Like nobody's jumping on board there, man. Like,
I had ads for that like so often.
Oh, me too. It was so annoying. It's like because of these ads, I'm not gonna buy them.
Yeah, and they would always get like some like YouTube gamer or Twitch gamer in the ads to like.
Influencer.
In it? No, it's not. It's paid to use it for that ad.
The dude clearly prefers using whatever like PC games. Yeah.
So ruthless. I didn't know you guys were so ruthless.
So that's what's up, man. It's the competition. It's established. There's no breaking through now. Like even what's the one? It's not Steam, but who's the guy? Or maybe it is Steam that tried to create their own console.
Yeah, Valve.
Yeah. Valve tried to create their own console, and they were like showing off prototypes for the controller, and everyone's like, no, we don't want innovation. We just want the same. Yeah. So I'm sure it still exists. It's still out there, but
nobody cares.
Who cares? Yeah. It's straight up just Nintendo, PlayStation, Xbox. There's no breaking through anymore. I don't want any breakthroughs. It's like, sounds weird to say, but I just want it established. I want new games. I want innovation with games and breakthroughs in that sense, right? I don't want the same old shtick there.
It's Halo.
I know. Oh my god, man! Every month now we're getting the new like updates on like the graphics and like
one new screenshot every month. It's like, look at the
and I love it, and then I freak out and I watch every like Halo YouTuber talking about it, even though it's the same thing. I watch every one because I'm like, what if they got something new to say about it? I'm obsessed, man. I'm sick about it. It's coming out on the anniversary of the first Halo 20 years ago, so I think like November 15th. So it's a while away.
Yeah.
But at least they're dropping new info about it now.
Yeah.
They were not for an entire like 2-3 years.
Well, at least by November I'll have a new Xbox pen.
Exactly. Okay. Oh my god, man. I gotta tell you guys. So I got the new Xbox Series X, and Darren, I've said it on this podcast, so you already know the desperation that I had.
Yeah.
And when I finally found it, it was the dumbest thing. I just walked into a Shoppers and they just had it over the counter. But for months, I couldn't find it. It was impossible. It was just scalpers were the only ones selling it, but they were selling it like $300-400 over the market value. It was insane. It was like this, and the exact same thing was happening with PlayStation because they were both dropping at the same time, right? It was complete like pandemonium, insanity. I got to a point where I almost bought from a scalper, but I didn't. And I also got to a point where I subscribed to a website that it's like a stock website, except it can also be used to follow shipments of new products. And so I signed up to get notifications when new shipments dropped to the Walmart or the whatever, right? Like to the EV Games. Like
that's dedication.
It's obsession. It's and you know, it's going too far. But I was like, God, I want this fucking console. I don't know what the hell's wrong with me. I was just like, this is like the one thing that I'm gonna set all of my determination on. And
wow. Okay.
yeah. And then I got like no notifications from them because like the second it dropped, it'd be sold out. So like the notification would cancel before it even begins because like the scalpers had bots that just like instantly pre-ordered, and then so it was sold out before like inside of 10 seconds, right?
Yeah.
And then so once I finally got the Xbox, which was like a month after me trying that little detour, I you know, it says like you gotta reply to the email saying unsubscribe if you don't want it anymore. So I say, okay, so do that. So I clicked on the reply to one of the emails and I said unsubscribe. But then I still got them every so often. And I'm like, what the hell? So I just reply in all caps, stop. And like, I got like over this past week, I got like 5 email notifications saying Xbox Series X back in stock. I'm like, I don't care. I already have it. Fuck off. And I'm like trying to get rid of it. And they just won't unsubscribe me. I'm like, they're like scalpers. Because you know, scalpers are getting desperate now. And there's like news articles where they're like, stop calling us the enemy. Like we're suffering. Like, please, we need to sell these. Will anyone buy these from us?
No.
Like, no, you're the fucking evil enemy. No, fuck you. You know? You took advantage of all these people, and so now you're paying the price. Like, you know, time to pay the piper, as they say. So that's what's up. You play dirty, you get dirty, right? That's what's up. Exactly. All these scalpers got all these consoles, you know? Yeah, let me play you the world's smallest violin.
So tiny.
Yeah. That's what's up. Those are my weird misadventures with.
Okay, but like, what I don't get, okay, so like, so what's good, I guess, now is that you can have the console and then download games.
Yeah, you literally never have to buy a game again. You download the second they're available.
So like, what do you like when you get the system or console, I guess, and then it's like, oh, I don't have any games, but then you can just download games once you buy your membership.
Download all of them online.
That's where it should be. That's how it should be. I don't want to have to go to Blockbuster and get a game.
Blockbuster.
Well, no. I feel like with Halo Infinite. No, I mean, I want to buy a hard copy, but I probably will buy digital. But I want the hard copy. I'm one of those people. I'm old tech. I'm a boomer, you know. I like the old way. I like collecting physical things, you know. I'm a monkey. I'm in my cave and I just like collecting fancy rocks that I like and keeping them. That's no way, you know. I mean, Aiden knows what I'm talking about. Look behind you, Aiden. What's all that?
Yeah, that's all my collection. Yeah, I used to be a really, really bad. Back in England, I used to have a huge DVD collection. I used to be obsessive on. I wanted like a full wall ceiling.
I literally, I got a wall in my old bedroom. Now I downsized it and I just like collect it all in a big treasure chest. But yeah, I got so many DVDs. It's fucked.
But then I was like, it's just they lose their value as soon as you buy them. Because when I moved here, I sold them all. And
you did? Oh my god!
You get like 20 cents, 50 cents.
Right.
Yeah, like
I try to go for $1. Some for $1. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the value that they lose their value like instantly.
Yeah. Like I don't even know who has a DVD player anymore. Like they're just
we have an Xbox to play it on. We have a laptop.
Yeah. People got consoles.
Like even my laptop right now doesn't even have a CD drive.
Oh my god, mine doesn't either. I honestly don't like that. I think they still should. I understand them trying to make them as thin as ever, and it keeps getting thinner and thinner, so there's no room for it. But I bought an external disk drive just for my laptop because, like, I still want that option. I feel like we shouldn't get rid of that because, like, I know, but like CDs are still useful. You can put secret tech on it, right? Like, what about spies in the government? Don't they need secret messages sent to them through CDs?
Yeah,
no one would see it coming.
And then you have to write on it. top secret.
Yeah.
In Sharpie, and then leave it at
top
a gym.
secret,
then,
not for Russians.
Yeah.
Russians, please don't insert.
Yeah, burn after reading. Yeah.
It's like certain things.
But this is the tech. This is what they can't erase.
What can't they erase? We got.
Oh, it's all the way at the bottom of the pile. Hang on.
What secret, top secret thing do you have?
What the hell is going on?
What is going on?
Where's the slime?
Hang on. Hang on.
What do you got?
Hang on.
This
is the old tech.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Nobody has those either.
Oh, wow.
It's not rewound. Nobody rewound it before they handed it in.
Oh, snap.
It's magic. See, this is magic. We talked about cassettes last time I was on, or the time before.
Yeah.
But like, this black tape here.
Yeah.
Hold sound and visuals. How? How is it possible?
Okay.
How?
Magic. Yeah, straight up.
Magic, Joe. That's the answer. Magic.
Yeah. I don't get. I actually don't understand the sound part. Like, it's like like what is it? Okay, so when we look back at just technology of the sound and images, the images make sense, right? If it's a strip, a little film strip, you have a laser shoot at it, and the electrical signal goes to the TV and shows the image of what that strip of the image is, right? And then when you think about audio, like we had records. That was like for the longest time that technology didn't change. That lasted for hundreds of years. Classical music and jazz, and even in the 60s and 70s, it took forever for that to change. And that one makes sense too, right? You take a needle that has like a type of metal that when pressed upon, instead of making a scratchy sound, it makes whatever. Well, okay, so I don't fully understand, but I get the premise of how records work, right? Is that when you press against a certain vibration, like in the ripple of the record disc, it creates a certain sound that comes out of the projector of where the needle is touching.
Yeah.
Like this
essentially,
big horn, right?
like the sound waves of a song are pressed downwards into
the
a
actual
record.
Physical wave of it is there, and then when the needle brushes across it, and when the needle brushes across it, the metal from that needle comes out from the horn and it makes the sound, right?
Yeah.
But then as soon as you get to cassettes, I genuinely don't understand. It's digital, even though it's analog. The only way I can understand it is that it's digital. It's that it's code that is received by this like light inside of a cassette player. Like this light that, it's almost like photocopying. Like this light is being shined on the film, and it takes that electrical signal, and then it somehow creates sound. It seems like it's digital, except it's a physical strip of like whatever the fuck the strip is made out of. So I don't understand it. I don't get it. I only understand the image of it. Yeah, it's just magic. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's nuts, man. When you look at circuit boards,
magic, and everyone just forgot about it.
Right? Yeah. Literally, yeah. Or it's being like hidden from us. Mark Zuckerberg is hiding the magic from us. He doesn't want us to know. Big tech doesn't want us to know magic is real.
Yeah. That's why iTunes
can sell it to us.
Yeah.
But it's nuts. I literally like. Yeah, I don't know. Like circuit boards.
It's pretty cool though.
Computers have circuit boards. These strips of green, little vein-looking stuff on it, and somehow that creates processing power. Like and you got these microchips, and now we're making quantum computers.
Well, even my digital camera, which is just out of shot. Hang on.
Yeah.
I'm being very visual with my demonstrations today.
Yes. Yeah.
Digital camera, right?
Yeah.
Of course, old cameras made sense. They have
an
film.
eye. It's a shutter. Eye opens and closes. Yeah.
And exposes the film so that everything in front is now burnt onto the film.
Yeah.
There's more to it, but essentially that's it. But this, sure, there's still a mirror and a sensor inside it, but it puts that. It doesn't burn the image to film anymore. It just puts it on a little one of these.
Yeah.
It's it's like photocopying. So it's like the light is it's like reverse photocopying. Because what's the original thing called? Where it wasn't even a camera at one point, it was just a hole in a wall, and it like sprayed the image, object obscura or something.
Right.
I forget now. It's been forever. It was like high school when I learned it, but yeah, it's like the whole idea. Lens obscura or something. It's like in the 1800s when they realized that this is a thing. They a guy like cut a tiny hole into like a wall between his rooms and like his apartment or something. And I'm sure I'm saying this wrong, but generally this was the premise. And it was covered. He waited until it was like bright daylight, and then he removed it, and then waited like an hour, and then closed it again. And then he like, like brought a lantern in or a light bulb or whatever, and then like saw what happened on the other side of the wall from where the hole was when the light shined through, and it made the image of where the light was from, but just upside down. And it was like the most insane thing ever. It was like, holy shit, what am I looking at? And then eventually that is exactly what led to what cameras are now. But it was still something where you'd have to take that big cloth, the camera guy, and he would have to put it behind him because it had to be like negative space where the light was coming in, because at that point it was still, it was like burning itself onto like a piece of paper or something, right? Like, having the actual film thing.
They had like these metal
Polaroids.
plates to begin with,
super weird. It's just like, and that's how human eyeballs work too. The image like enters our eyeballs and then goes in reverse, and then our brain takes the reverse image and flips it back again, and then it's just constantly doing that, and then that's how we see. It's
crazy.
Nuts. It sounds like magic, but that one at least is understandable. It's physics. But then as soon as you get to the digital aspect, then it's like, and you lost me. And it's actually,
yeah,
it's nuts, man. Science. Cameras
it's
and
pretty
science.
cool though. I love it. I love taking pictures.
Yeah. Anyway, okay, so guys, so we're 41 minutes in here, and we haven't exactly talked about our location situations yet. Maybe the tradition's dying. I don't know. It's fine if it does, but I just gotta say, I'm holding my cool, but I am a little warm right now. If you look behind me, I went through a wormhole,
A what?
and I ended up a little. I was trying to go in the future. And I don't know where I am. I might be in the future, or it might be in the past. But either way, it's way too far. I hung in that wormhole a little too long, and I popped out a little deep fried, a little burnt. So I don't know how I'm gonna get back, because I don't have anything now. I don't have technology. Like, I got this laptop here, but
your magic laptop.
We'll see what happens. I'll be fine. It's like that dog who's just sitting in that house on fire, and he goes, "This is fine."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And at least the air is breathable.
The air is totally breathable for some reason. I'm doing A-okay. Yeah. There's no plexiglass this time. This is literally just hanging out in this scorched earth.
So, not much to worry about up there.
Not much to worry about. Yeah.
The scorching, I guess.
What's it like in 2021? You guys doing okay?
Yeah.
Things are kind of opening
back up. Is the pandemic still real? Tell me about the old world.
The snow's melting.
Things are opening back up.
Yeah, that's right. The snow is melting. Yeah, nice. The weather's doing good. You know the tragic part about that too. I got another little story for you guys. My girlfriend and I, we go for little walks in the wintertime, and like there's like little parks in our area in Toronto. And we're like, oh, this is cute. It'd be nice if we had like a toboggan or something, because we're seeing people have fun, that kind of thing. And we think about this for a while, and we're like, I don't know, should we buy? Should we not buy? Who knows? And then
toboggan?
Yeah, or something, or a sleigh, or one of those like crazy like ski things, like those like little motorized like three wheel, three sleigh little things that you can steer, something, right? And there ends up being a situation where she has to like go back to Oakville for work, and then so I decide to take that as an excuse to go to Burlington, and I kind of sneak into my old house, and in the garage they got toboggans, so I took one. And like like I told them I was taking it, but still I took one and then I put it in the car, and I was so excited. But then as soon as I did that, the weather started getting way warmer, and we had like that like 6-degree day, and like now there's just grass all over the hills because they're exposed, right? So it's like in trails and stuff where there's trees, there's still a lot of snow, but in everywhere where you would want a toboggan is completely exposed to the sun, so it all melted. So it's unfortunate. So I'm just waiting for another snowfall, but I feel like winter might be over.
Yeah, right. Well, March. I don't know. Sometimes it's one of those like last efforts at snow.
Yeah. Jack Frost has one last effort. Yeah. Hey, don't laugh at this. It's tragic, man. It's poetic tragedy. We finally got the equipment needed, but we can't do it. Oh, well. What about you guys? Have you done any snow time activities?
No, we went for a walk the other day in the snow, and we ended up carrying this one the whole way around.
Joe, I'm sorry to laugh, but oh my god, that's just so sad.
It's just, what are you
Like,
gonna do? It's
it
unlucky.
literally went from like so much snow to like it's raining, it's hot. We don't have
Yeah.
time.
Straight up, and it happened at the exact time that I finally got a toboggan. The universe is like, no, you're not toboggan.
Yeah, not for you. Not today.
Not today. Yeah, not
Not
in
today.
2020. Yeah, unfortunate, but what are you gonna
I don't
do?
know why that's funny to me. I'm like getting tears. Like honestly.
Hey, you know what my girlfriend and I could do? We could take a trip out to just anywhere in Texas. There's still a
Down
lot
to
of snow going on there. Yeah,
Yeah.
That's
yeah. Try to take advantage of what's going on
That's
there.
ruthless. That's pretty ruthless. Is it
I
that? Is
know.
it
I wouldn't do that, Kim.
or is it like has it warmed back? It's aren't everybody's back to like normal, no? Or like
I think
everybody's
they have
I gotta imagine so, but yeah.
global warming, man. That's what happens.
I know, straight up, yeah.
Yeah.
When are these people start gonna recognize? Like, geez, start reusing reusable things, people. Reusable. Hello.
That's right. Yo, best redneck and eyes, Texans. Yo,
Reuse-
what's interesting is that the people in power of Texas, obviously Ted Cruz was trying to disappear and get away from it all. Other people were literally just blaming renewable resources, like saying like, "Oh, the windmills froze," even though that's obviously because they were not prepared for winter conditions. Like we have windmills that don't freeze, and it's because they're prepared for it. But the biggest thing that was fucking up everyone's livelihoods was like the gas and the fact that the gas companies weren't making pipes prepared for it. It's like most of people's problems were electricity going out and stuff, and like the pipes not working and like not getting water and stuff. All of that is related to gas companies more than like the windmill electrical companies. Like obviously people aren't getting the majority of their electrical, like their electricity from windmills. They're getting it from like the gas company.
Yeah.
So it's just interesting that that narrative was trying to be threaded, like, oh, these people say global warming, this global warming, and if anything, they're trying to ignore that too. So it's super weird. It's like the never-ending narrative, right? They're like, I'm a Republican, I have to be a science denier. I mean, it's like even if it's like the most obvious first-case scenario, like, look, it's literally happening right in front of you. It's like I still got to find a way to spin it some other way, just to the point of delusion, like, oh, global warming didn't cause the Californian wildfires; it was Jewish space lasers. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, just the most
But
insane
no one
shit.
as well. No one was just like straight up saying like, "Oh, Texas isn't built for snow."
I know, like the infrastructure was.
That's why.
Instead, they're like, blame game. Let's game.
They could just say, "Well, no, we're used to like a desert weather."
Like just we're not prepared for this. We're sorry. We kind of,
And also, they have like this weird, like all the states around them have like a backup plan where they can
they're
share
attached
power.
to the federal, the federal electrical system, and then Texas is the only state that's just alone.
Yeah, it's just like, nah, we hate the government. We're on our own.
Government, and then now they need help, and it's just like we can't because you're not connected, bro. It's another poetic tragedy, I think. It's the same as
we can fend for ourselves.
Yeah.
Well, here's your opportunity.
I know. That's it. Yeah, me and my girlfriend should go. Just enjoy the sights. Get a little Texas tourism. Yeah.
Wow, that would be intense.
Yeah.
Speaking of end of the world stuff, like we've not experienced the world ending recently, but speaking of it, last week Dee and I watched a movie called Greenland. It was about
with your boy Gerard.
Yep,
I say your boy.
The comet. It's
pretty.
It's classic plot. Comet comes, explosions, shockwaves, earthquakes.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I don't remember.
Then, because I was in the mood for like end of the world movies, I then rewatched The Day After Tomorrow.
Oh, nice. Gyllenhaal,
holds up pretty well. So I've been kind of in this mood of like, okay, the world's ending again. What would we do different? What would we do different this time? Like, because the world didn't end. It felt like the world was ending. Still kind of is ending. But like, we've still got power. We've still got like,
We're still, society is still semi.
A year from now, we're almost back in March. A year ago to this month, everybody, toilet paper was running out. Food was no pasta. Remember, there was no pasta. There was no pasta.
I don't remember that. Wait, was that a British thing or is that happening here?
No, there was no pasta. There was no pasta. No one could get pasta.
Well, the
No
Italians.
pasta, no
They
toilet
take it
food.
over. Yeah.
So
Saying pasta too. Pasta.
no pasta, no toilet
Stop
food.
saying it like that. I mean, that's how it's supposed to be said. But...
Gives them the runs. It's a weird.
So we all thought that, okay, well, what if
What if? Yeah.
this is,
It actually happened.
there's no return.
Yeah.
What would you do different? Would you, and this is kind of what I want to get into,
Okay, yeah.
get a bug out bag?
Right.
Or make your own bug out bag? And if so, what would you put in said bug out bag?
That is a good question. Well, I'll say this.
Knowing what we know now.
Yeah. Well, knowing what we know now, I feel like I would change literally nothing because I have no control over the spread of this virus. So, like, realistically, I would just change nothing. Wait, my screen is froze. Are you guys seeing it frozen? Oh, I'm back. Okay. So realistically, I would change nothing, but for fun, this is something that I actually thought about like way back in the day, like when, because we're all the same age, right? Back when we were all 18, 19. No. How old are we? Yeah, 19. The end of the world was coming. 2012, December 21st. Right? We all know the Mayan calendar ends, and thus something was supposed to happen. The electromagnetism of the Earth, the polar switch was going to happen and just knock out all electricity, or like a solar flare from the sun was going to like wipe everyone out or something.
Yeah.
So
was gonna...
yeah, like just all this insane shit was going to happen. Global warming, but just all in one day instead of over years. My friend Alex and I, we were hanging out in his car, and we were just parked like at the parking lot at our elementary school because like it's inside of like one block from where both of us live. So we were literally just hanging out there. It's like an abandoned place where we hang out at nighttime, and we were just hanging out in the parking lot, and we were both sitting in the car, and it was like 10 minutes to midnight on December 20th, 2012, and we're like, okay, it's midnight's almost here. It's gonna be December 21st. What's gonna happen? And like we were actually kind of preparing for it. We were like, if all electricity gets wiped out in an instant, if a giant global wide, like electromagnetic pulse happens and just wipes out all electronics like permanently, what's the first thing we do? And we were both like, okay, we're going to go up Bronte in Oakville to the horse farm that we know is there. There's like a stable that like you can like do day passes and go on horseback. Okay. And we should be able to get there before sunrise. And we're going to steal 2 horses. We're then on horseback because no cars are working, so we have a huge advantage now. We're going to travel back down because that's kind of like north from the city. We're going to travel back down to the city. We're going to loot the easiest convenience spot, like convenience store or like Walmart or whatever. We're going to loot whatever we can at the time, but we're going to be smart about it. Just beans, just like essential stuff, right? Like good stuff that's like preservatives. We're going to steal it all. We're going to make sure we have enough to cut it open, that kind of thing. We're going to make sure we got tons of like lighters or just like, like refill gasoline stuff. Mm-hmm. And then once we have tons of preservatives that'll last us at least a year or two, like strapped onto the saddle of these horses that we stole, we then go back up north and we go into the bush. We go into the wild and we set up camp and then we just live our good life. And then we prepare for whatever might come, right? Like maybe we'll steal like a bow and arrow or something from Canadian Tire. Like, something like that. We're like, the first thing is horseback. As soon as we're on horseback, we have an advantage over everyone else because no one else is prepared for this, except for the people who have horses on horse farms.
But then people see you with a horse, and then you're the main objective.
But we can get away from them.
True, you're faster on a horse.
Yeah, but what do you mean you can get away from them? So like, how do you approach?
They're running on foot. They don't have cars.
Yeah, but like, how do you approach a convenience store to get items?
Yeah, when if you start going inside?
You have to.
Okay, one person stays with the 2 horses, the other one goes in. I guess. Yeah. If anyone comes near our horses,
I don't know. I just feel like a horse.
Though, Joe, when you're 18,
you gotta feed the
horses. You know how to ride a horse.
Well, okay, actually, so this didn't happen until after we thought of this. The first time I actually rode a horse wasn't until I was 23. Mm-hmm. But when I did it, when I jumped on the horse's back, I didn't jump. When I did the thing, when I lunged over on it, it felt so natural. I instantly felt a connection with the horse, and I was like, "This feels so natural." And I held the reins, and the horse responded to like my every gesture, And I was like, oh my God, this is it. Like, this is better than driving a car. I feel so connected. Like, I feel like we're in sync. Like Avatar, like I just plugged in my hair braid to this horse's hair braid. Like, something clicked. And like my other family members were like having a hard time and the horse was, and like for me, like it just worked. Like it was probably one of those things where I just got a lucky horse that was like really good at directions. But still, I still did a great job with that horse. So long as I get a horse that's good at taking directions, me and the horse are gonna be good.
I always thought horses didn't like being ridden. Like I thought that was a thing. Like horses don't like being ridden.
They have to be beaten in or whatever the fuck it's called. Yeah, like you have to like train them. It's a learned activity. It's not natural. Yeah.
They don't want anything on their back anyways.
But they get used to it.
And then there's that connection built, and then you have like 20 movies of this the horse movie where like a girl's connecting with her horse because she like is that what it is?
Biscuit. I don't know.
Like that. But there's this
Horseback. I think there's a movie about that.
There's this one where it's like this girl. It's called like I don't know what it is. It's just this same girl. She just keeps going back to the same horse over and over again, and it's like she's just building that connection.
Learn. It's a toxic relationship. She got
cities like where there's that one cute boy.
About the horse girl in every grade at school. It's like there's always the one girl who's into horses. It's like
yeah, and you go, okay, is it for the horses or is it for something else? Yeah.
No, not in that way, but just like they're always like richer because like they own a horse, so they must be rich.
Yes, there's definitely demographic.
You go away with your horse and like, and you wear those boots to school all the time. Like, we get it.
My God.
Horses.
I've never known that personally, but yeah, I can definitely see that being a thing. Have you guys actually seen the movie Horse Girl, the fairly recent film with Alison Brie?
Oh.
It's a weird one. I don't know if I would specifically recommend it, but she, I can give you the basic plot because it's one of those like slice of life movies. So there's not, I wouldn't ruin it by just telling you what the premise is. Mm-hmm. Alison Brie loves horses. Once upon a time, she rode horses, and now I think she just trains other girls because she's like 30 or whatever, right? But that's not her job. She just does that on the weekends as like a volunteer thing because she's just obsessed with horses. But her job is like working at like a fabric store or something. It's like a mundane job, you know how it is. And the only thing though is she's like single and she has a roommate that's like dating this guy. And then so the two of them try to hook Alison Brie up with someone. And as soon as they do that, the guy is like having a nice first date at first, but then Alison Brie starts like, like he asked her about her interests and stuff. And then she starts bringing up how like the world is secretly run by like alien reptilians and shit. And then he's like, oh, what? And then she just goes like deep down in the conspiracy hole where she's like, yeah, and I'm pretty sure like I'm the reincarnation of my grandma and like the ancient Egyptians were like the pyramids were built by aliens, like all this shit. And she just says like, she's basically like a QAnon, right? Except like it's personal to her. Like she was her grandma and she has like a picture of her grandma and it looks just like her. And she's the reincarnation of her. And like spirits can like jump bodies. And when she dreams, she like goes into her horse that like she rode as a kid and like becomes a horse and like all this insane shit. And then as the movie continues, you obviously start to realize that she like clearly has schizophrenia and she's like hallucinating all this crazy shit.
Right.
And then it progressively gets more and more insane until it's like at the end where the movie is just abstract and like you're gone, like you're with her in her head insane and she's like doing all this crazy shit and then it just ends with her, or I guess I won't say, but it's just a crazy movie. So and it's a Netflix original too, so it's easy enough to grab.
Yeah.
But Horse Girls, man.
Crazy.
That's the most exposure I've ever had to a Horse Girls watching that movie. So I just imagine all horse girls have schizophrenia.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Anyway,
so ruthless. All right, guys. Well, that's where we'll end it then. Yeah. On horse girls.
Ending it with horse girls.
Yeah.
And on horse girls, that's exactly what they want too. So I
think that's a good spot to end it. I mean, hey.
Yeah, I'd say so. Just remember, if a giant EMP blasts out all electronics across the globe, Horseback gives you that edge that other people don't have. Other people stay in apartments, they stay in the city where crime will eventually start to rise and like gangs will form. But if you get on a horseback, you can be safer. You go off into the woods and just do your own thing. Yeah.
I just feel like I don't know about that, but okay. I just feel like horses.
Wait, what? Okay, what'd you do?
Because it's not that, I just feel like, why is the horse such a big objective? I feel like a horse would be so much, like, it's already hard enough to take care of myself.
What do you?
Oh,
No,
now I gotta take care of
they're like cats.
Now I gotta take care of a horse?
No. They're not like dogs. They're not high maintenance. They're like cats.
But they're
just take care of them.
big. They're like 50. Like, it's enough to take, like, to feed, like, myself.
No. That's the thing.
Oh,
You
the
literally don't have to
food.
feed them. No. You
What do
don't
you
have to feed
do?
them.
They
They
just
eat
eat
the grass.
grass?
They eat grass.
True,
Yeah.
true.
In 2015, I went to Europe to like visit my extended family, the Van Landscoots, and
Okay.
and driving around in Belgium, there's tons of farmland, and you see people who have like bought donkeys, just because horses are a lot bigger. So it's like you buy donkeys instead, just mini horses, and like ponies and stuff, and you just fence off your front lawn, and they just are lawnmowers. They just eat all day. That's their life purpose, is just to eat grass. And then so horses have the exact same nutrition and diet, right? They're vegetarian. They just eat grass. So you just bring them into the woods, and they're like deer. They'll just eat leaves and grass. So you don't have to find them food.
Much.
The only thing you got to do for them is find them at least water once a day. So that's the only feeding you got to do. They're like a plant. You just give them water, and you're good to go, and you can just ride them.
Hey, I mean, if you got a horse, I see you, I'm like, okay, I'll hop on. You want to take me to the up north? Okay, cool, great. But for me, I think I'm just gonna go with like on foot and just make sure I have like some good weapons and like some good
because that's the thing. If you're with other people, then it becomes dangerous because there's the lack of resources. So then that's when the violence and the crime spikes. So that's why
no sharing.
Just myself, only me.
What about me?
Well, I mean,
no, but I'm saying people will like break in. They'll like go door to door looking for food, right? They'll become scavengers.
Yeah. What's the difference if you have a horse? What's the difference?
Because you go off into the woods.
Yeah, but I'm going in the woods without a horse. What do I need a horse? I'm going in the woods.
Well, he'll get to the woods quicker, is what he's saying.
I'll get.
I'm just doing everything you're doing just on foot.
He'll get there before you, and he'll pick out the best treehouse before you. That's what he's saying.
And then you got a smaller treehouse. Your treehouse isn't as good. Yeah, that's what's up.
But at least I don't have a horse that I have to like. Oh, someone's coming to attack me. Oh, gotta grab the horses. Nope, those horses are dead.
No, you got it all wrong. If people are coming to attack you, you jump on the horse, you get away. But if you're on foot, they catch up to you.
No, if people are going to, I guess you didn't see The Walking Dead.
Oh yeah,
I can't keep up with that. Why? Did something happen where on horseback it's a disadvantage?
I haven't seen it, but I know that there's a horse at the beginning of the episode. The first episode, he starts with a horse. I know that.
Yeah, it doesn't make it to the end of the episode. I'm just telling you that.
All right. Well, we're not zombies.
I'm just saying. Hey, you want a horse? I see you. I'm like, hey, you got a horse? Hey, can I get a ride? Peace.
Also, at least keep this in mind. If the horse is only going to last one episode or 1 week or whatever in real life, by the time its time is up, you got yourself food for a solid week.
Well,
you don't have to go hunting.
Let's just say that. They ate well that episode.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, hey, whatever floats your boat, right? Like.
Sure. So the parting words of wisdom are: get a horse or don't get a horse.
It's up to you. Like,
depends on the apocalypse situation. I think that's what you base it on.
If electricity is all good, but it's like aliens are coming for us, or like it's a comet and there's just nothing we can do, then the horse is redundant. Yeah. So it's dependent.
It does depend. Okay, well, hey, you never know.
Yeah, you never know.
Horses are.
So speaking of apocalypse, hopefully I can find my way out of this situation. But we'll see. See if I appear again. I'm sure I'll be fine. Yeah, I've made it this far. I'm not gonna die here on this volcano
planet. Like an ancient portal buried somewhere on this planet that you could find.
It's got to be somewhere. Yeah.
I'll
dig. It's like Minecraft. I'll dig a little hole. I'll find something. Yeah.
Oh, Minecraft. Wow. Okay. Yeah. True. You never, because it goes down deep. You never know how far you're going.
I can just do a little digging and then see what I find. Yeah.
Hey. All right.
All right. Well, until next time, thank you so much again, Aiden, for coming on as always. And to the audience, like, follow, subscribe, wherever you're finding this, whether you're finding it through a link on Facebook or through Instagram or just finding it on YouTube. Stick around. We'll see you in the next one.
Yeah. Let us know if you want to see anything. If you want to be a guest, hit us up. Please. We really appreciate it.
Bye.
Yeah. All right. Till next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.